for Season 8 of the Calamitous Casual. This is episode, I think we're on episode 4 right now, but...
Yes, it is episode 4.
So, let's have a look and see what the last week's results were. So we've got the Sultando swing versus the Draw White Bread. Now this was a clear-cut result before it even
the
started.
result we expected. We expected Graham to win by a decent margin, but the humans to get at least one touchdown. Though from what we've heard about this match, it was not an easy match for. Well, it was a costly match for the Dark Elves, which is what we always love. Though the Dry White Blood have also suffered a death.
Yeah, so I sat and watched this game, and it was painful for the Dark Elves, but I think there was just a few newer player errors on the human team that Graham capitalised on.
Yeah.
But that's how the game's played, and you learn from failures more than you learn from success. So, next up we had the Moonstar Mash Bash versus the Easy Cheesy Rat Boys.
Yeah,
this was your
match
game.
was it was a bit. The first half went well. Killed a werewolf on a 1 die. That was nice. Then the second half, I just failed every dice roll. It was like one of your Wood Elf games where you just you fail your first action every turn.
Oh,
which was amusing because I still ended the second half with most of my rerolls because all my actions that I started with I had built-in rerolls for, and I just failed them.
That's interesting. But you know when you've got all your rerolls left, something's either gone fantastic or terrible.
Yeah. So it was my gutter. It went from in the first half my gutter runners were just monsters to the second half. They were rolling ones into ones constantly. Like I had a 61% dodge success rate by the end of that.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate for you. But
saying it was all 2-up dodges.
But saying that, we did expect Dave to be taking.
Oh yeah, we expected Dave to get the win
there. Next up, we had the Rat and Cheese Fight versus the Goblins. Now, I thought that the Goblins were going to lose by a significant margin on this.
Yes.
I'm happy to say that I was wrong in how much they lost by.
They both got a player sent off, so that's all good, and the Goblins suffered a death. Most interestingly, though, the Goblins had a 100% success rate on their chainsaw, which was 9 attempts, which is definitely going to have hurt the Skaven a bit there, which is possibly why it turned out like this.
9 shots.
Okay, that'll probably do it. The Goblins inflicted 11 KOs on the Skaven. The Skaven, by comparison, inflicted 0 KOs, only 2 injuries.
Yeah, I think that's the important bit there.
And the Skaven's wake up after KO was 50%. He only succeeded. Out of the 12 attempts, he only succeeded 6 times.
Yeah, I think that amount of removals from a Goblin team is fantastic. And probably the reason.
Make sense.
What doesn't make sense?
Dave must have KO'd one of his own players with a failed dodge or something, since the Goblins only caused 11.
Fair enough. For the full Montezuma versus a normal Goblin team.
I saw the tail end of this match. It did not go well for the normal Goblin team, even though they got the win.
Yeah, I think they've had a Black Orc death from memory.
Yeah, they had 2 deaths in this game. One was another Black Orc death, and then they also had a Goblin death. Fortunately, it wasn't the Agi 4 Goblin.
That Agi 4 Goblin is his entire team. If that doesn't make it through this team,
if that dies, his team is over.
And finally, the Mad Fairies versus the Tank Top Bum Boys. Now, I thought the Fairies would win this. You thought
I thought the Nurgle would win. From what I've heard about the start to this match, that's where it all went downhill.
Yeah.
Nurgle got the first turn. The first few blocks all resulted in removals on the Chaos side.
Yep. So we've got a clip of this that we'll show when we get a little bit further into this, but we can see that Tom sustained 2 losses in the first turn before he'd even got to go, and I think the Nurgle just capitalised on that.
The only SP he got the entire game was the MVP, which landed on a journeyman.
That is unfortunate.
That's definitely going to still his development for this season. After he actually started off fairly well, getting block on his Warriors block on half his Warriors after the first 2 games.
Right. So that's the teams and the results. Let's have a look at and now we have a look at the teams. So let's start Dry White Bread. So this is the human team by Pat.
Yep.
And we can see that he's got some level ups from last game. So he's got
block on a thrower. It's an alright skill. Personally, I would have probably gone for a passing skill to make him a bit better at passing. But block is always a good shout.
Accurate would have been a fun choice.
Yeah.
Passing like an elf then.
That's why I would have gone for accurate or just leader.
I think leader at this point would have been a bit of a weird call because you've not really got any other skills to back it up with.
Yeah, it's just because he has access to it. But block is good old block. There's never really a player that doesn't benefit from block.
Yeah, every player can do well with it. And then Frenzy on the Blitzer.
Yeah, I'm not honest. It's a weird one because the Blitzers have strength access, so he could have given it Mighty Blow, Guard, but he gave it Frenzy. And it's a niggled player as well, so it's just asking to get Frenzy trapped.
I'm a big fan of having some Frenzy on a team because it makes players play differently.
It does. It's just the weirdness of the player.
Yeah, I wouldn't have put it on you Blitzer as a first skill.
No. Mighty Blow, Guard, Tackle, all much better first skills.
Yeah.
But hey, maybe it'll work out for him. Or maybe he'll die.
Yep. So looking at this, we've got 2 SPP, 1 Cash on the Ogre before I level up. We've got 1 SPP on the Blitzer. I would still be looking at doing a throw with him just to try and get that level up. Yep. He has managed to put at least 1 SPP on all the Blitzers in case an MVP lands, they will get a level up, which is nice.
Yep, which is always good.
And he is a touchdown away on the catcher. So this team can start to develop quite quickly from here on out.
Yes.
Not a lot of SPPs landed on linemen, which is nice.
Which is always a good.
So yeah, I think this can be a solid team. And we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
Should we go to the easy cheesy rat, boys?
If you really want.
Because we got to have a quick peek at this last week, but we'll go into a bit more depth. Agi 5 Gutter Runner.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it really. It's quite disgusting.
So this just one-ups your extra heads.
Yeah. It makes me extra heads one a bit redundant now. They're still both going to be good, just he's now a bit... Yeah, I can dodge on 5s. Yeah, I can do that naturally. And I can do other things.
Yeah, so you're passing 6 squares on a 2-up. You're passing, what is it, 10 squares on a 3-up.
Yeah.
Like, do not underestimate the ability of your passing game now.
Yeah, and I've already faced the Nurgle, so I don't have to really worry about that. The other skill up was I gave a lineman kick.
So yeah, you're able to kick it deep and then run fast gutter runners in. Like I can, you're going to be playing a lot more like elves.
Yeah.
Than Skaven at this point.
And then I've got my blitz. That's 1 SP off a level up. Unfortunately, he couldn't roll a 3-up last game to just pass the ball to a gutter runner. 4 times I tried that.
I think you are definitely going for a more blitzing approach than a passing game. But no, I think this is a nice team.
Got me ape off as well, which is nice.
Yeah, you can still kill stuff and get a bounty on it. I think we are going to have to update your bounty to involve that.
Yeah, it's probably going to go to Red Leicester.
Right, it's a nice team. Let's move on. Let's go to a normal goblin team. We'll just go in a random order.
Fair enough. Let me just close down the next team and go to them.
So, we started off with 4.
A bit gutted.
We started off with 4 red Black Orcs. Now we have.
At least...
we now have 2 red Black Orcs, and please
kill me.
Don't kill me. That is the fantastic name.
Yeah.
The Agi4 has got his level up, making him...
Who would have thought on a team like this, it's the Black Orcs that are getting killed more than the Goblins?
He's had 1 Goblin death.
Yeah, and he's had 2 Black Orc deaths.
Well, you know what they say. They're all just greenskins.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
Wow. But yeah, that IG4 is now definitely
Yeah,
become his
that is
dedicated
his,
throw.
that is his team.
He's
If he loses that, his team's in dire trouble.
But the thing is, the more that he uses it, the greater chance he gets eaten is.
Yeah.
So
Wouldn't it be really sort of sad if it was to get eaten one day?
well, it's a 1 in 36 to get eaten. So if he plays, let's say, 3 games, throwing each half, because why would you not be throwing each half? All of a sudden, there's a 1 in 6 chance then every 3 games.
Yeah.
So throughout the season, I would expect this goblin to die.
Or at least a goblin to die. Because he does like to throw his other goblins as just artillery at times.
He's not got the amount of goblins to throw for artillery anymore.
Yeah, he doesn't, but he still does it.
Fair enough. I think it's been an interesting build, and I would love to see how this goes. He's had some unfortunate luck, but I think that's going behind him. Shall we check out the Rat Pack and Cheese?
The better Skaven team.
I think this is the worst Skaven team.
I think it's the better one purely because of the coach.
Well, the coach and the team are independent of each other.
That's true.
So
regardless, that lineman's got kick. It's got a miss next game, but it also got the MVP. So it's got kick for when it does return.
And he's got Mighty Blow.
Yep, which is if that Blitzer now rolls a double, he's going to be getting Claw, and that's going to become a menace. Movement 7, Claw, Mighty Blow. That is very mobile death.
Yeah, he's also going to have the increased SPP from Kajing. So he's going to be leveling up quicker than before, which I think is a nice call. Again, he took the wrong choice with Big Hand, but we do like the horns.
He keeps trying to argue that, but unfortunately, Skaven coaches' opinions don't matter.
No. But yeah, I think it's just a generic Skaven team. There's not a lot really to say on this.
Yeah.
Let's look at the 8-peat Punies. Speaking of not a lot of things to say, because
the underdogs.
There is absolutely no level ups.
No change whatsoever, other than they've had a death.
They've just had some removals. There's not a lot really to say.
Maybe just replace those goblins, because it looks like he's got more goblins than he actually does at the moment because of those 2 gaps.
He's at 12 players, so I'd get a pogo I'd get a pogo and bring it to 13.
Yeah, get the pogo. You won't regret it.
These trolls have got a little bit of SPP, but nothing to write home about.
Yeah. If they get a lucky game, both of those could level up.
But yeah, not a lot really to say on those. Let's have a look at the Moonstar Mash Bash, because once again, there's not a lot really to say other than what's missing.
He's got a dead werewolf.
So, he is missing the werewolf, and he has bought a flesh golem.
He bought the flesh golem before the last game.
I think this has been one of the things that will hurt him, because he's lost a lot of mobility and a lot of strength here. By not having 2 flesh golems, you're not outstrengthening a lot of players, and by not having the second werewolf.
Because he's lost the werewolf, he's no longer got the speed he used to have.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a struggle, but Dave is a fantastic player and he can utilise every single player.
Oh yeah.
There is also the possibility that he can get it after his next game.
If he rolls well.
He has to roll well on his winnings.
Yeah.
But no, this is not a lot of development, but we'll see. There's the dead black hook there at the bottom, which is always nice to see.
Yeah, but I believe Dave can do it. He did win last season.
He did win last season, yeah. Graham has not won for many, many seasons.
I don't think Graham's won since season 2.
He's a has-been, and looking at his has-been, he has got a disgusting roster.
He does.
So we've got an Agi 5 and a leader since last game. I believe he's also got another dodge on a blitzer.
Yep, another dodge on a blitzer. But armor down on a blitzer. On one that's 4 SP as well. That's got a bit of a target on his neck.
That's sacking territory.
I don't think he will sack it though.
The blitzers are ones that you need to be fighting.
Yeah, I don't think he will sack it because he doesn't have the money to sack and rehire. and by the time he probably has got the money, he's probably going to have leveled up, and he's not going to want to re-level one up.
I think if
later
it does,
into the season.
I think if it does level up, he won't get rid of it. But it's definitely shaping up into what we expect
Oh,
from
yeah.
Graham. Of all the blitzes get dodged, then he starts looking at other players.
Yeah. The Agi5, that thing needs to die.
Well, let's make it die. Let's make it the bounty.
It already was the bounty. Before we even got the Agi5, Kosher was the bounty.
Well, let's update the image then. Let's give it Agi5 so everyone knows exactly who to stamp on.
Fair enough.
Right. Shall we have a look at the Mad Fairies?
The Mad Furries.
I believe they've got absolutely nothing here.
Yeah. Well, all they got was an MVP on a journeyman, which he's bought, Pilly Tusk.
Not much more to buy.
No.
Yeah,
But buying Pilly Tusk has cut into his Mino fund quite a bit. Because 60k, he would have been on 110. That was nearly at the Mino.
I'd have been
Nearly at third reroll.
I'd have been inclined to not buy the Beastman.
Yeah, sure it got the MVP, but it's a Beastman at the end of the day. You've gone to a third of the cost of your Minotaur now.
Yeah, I definitely would have had
Yeah,
that in the back of my mind of not spending as much money as that.
Yeah. Oh well.
It is what it is.
Yep.
Should we look at the full Montezuma?
Sure.
I think this
So
is
they got a few level ups last game. Mainly a guard, Crocs, and a sidestep skink.
Yes, they're both valid choices. I would definitely be looking at firing this Niggle Skink and hiring
100%.
hiring two more. Just make sure.
If that Niggle skink was to get hit by something with Mighty Blow, it gets injured on a 7.
On a 7? Do you mean on an 8?
Yeah. No.
Oh, sorry.
If it gets hit by
if it
gets hit by something with Mighty Blow, it's injured on a 7, which also means it gets knocked out on a 5. No, 4. Bloody hell.
Yeah,
get rid of that thing.
Yeah, that thing is a liability at this point. And you've got enough to buy 2 more skinks, so I would upgrade yourself to 5 skinks, 6 Saurus, and a Crocs, and you're gonna have a decent roster.
Yep.
I like sidestep on the skink. That's quite nice. It all means that you can move them out of harm's way. Also means that they're potentially a little bit better for the 1 turn if you're going for that.
Sidestep and beam movement 8 also does quite well for just running up the pitch. They hit you, you move further down their side.
Yeah, I quite like that.
Yeah.
And the guard Crocs is pretty standard.
Yep, I believe that's all the teams now, unless we've missed one.
That's all the teams, so let's have a look at the next week's result. So, let's looking at the next week's schedules. We can see that the Mad Fairies have got the Sultanzo swing.
Graham's going to win this hands down. They'll probably get a few more injuries on his Dark Elves, which we'll always enjoy.
Yeah, I think this is definitely Graham's game to lose.
Yeah. He's got more core skills. The Chaos hasn't really got anything to slow him down or stop his dodging. It's going to be a very rough game.
Yeah, Graham's got enough dodge to just not be bothered by the Chaos Warriors.
He's got the speed to just run rings around him as well.
Yeah, I can see potentially like a 2-1. I think Tom might try and grind a touchdown, but I think it'll be 2-0, potentially 2-1.
Yeah.
The full Montezuma versus the Tank Top Bum Boys.
I'm probably going to give this to the Nurgle.
I was just going to give this to the Nurgle as well. I think the Nurgle are just going to focus on the Skinks.
Yeah, they've got the strength to fight the Saurus in a head-on by both having strength 4. The wrestle Pesticle is going to be quite useful as it's going to be able to just sure he's not got tackle, but he can just wrestle the skink to the ground. Then Rotters can stamp on it.
Yeah, and we know they're not against fouling, as we saw earlier.
And that niggled one is going to be a prime target for that. With how easily it could be injured.
Yeah, I think that's almost a foregone conclusion.
Yeah.
What isn't a foregone conclusion is the Goblin versus the Goblin.
Yeah.
I'm
I feel like Kenny might pull this one off. He's got more players. He has the potential to injure the Blackhawks quite well because of the chainsaw if it carries on working. He's got 2 trolls, which is better than 1 troll. I feel like Kenny could do this. If it was a regular Orc team, no way in hell. But because the majority of Sam's team is goblins, I think Kenny could possibly do this.
Well, there's the same amount of. I think that the number of Blackhawks will just be bullying the Goblins.
3 Blackhawks.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this to Sam.
I'm going to give it to Kenny. Don't let me down.
Come on, Sam. This is your chance. This is the game that you can do well in.
Come on, Kenny. This is the game you can do well in. Let this be the one game this season you win.
Right. The Moonstar Mash versus the Rat Pack and Cheese.
I feel like Dave is probably going to win this one.
I think Dave is going to win this one. Would you like to give us tell us which Dave is going to win this one?
Well, you know which Dave I mean. So I think Dave is going to win this one because he's an experienced coach. He knows what he's doing, and therefore I feel like Dave is going to win.
Well, I think Dave Bowden is going to win. I am confident enough to not give ambiguous answers, Mr. Max.
Well, like I said, I believe Dave will win this because he knows what he's doing. He's played this team for years. So yeah.
Yeah, but
that should tell you which Dave I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, but he recently cut his hair, and it's like Samson. All of his Skaven power was in his hair.
That is very true. But I still believe Dave will win this. He's got the gutter runners. He's got the gutter runners. So because he's lost his werewolf, the gutter runners will be quite a bit safer and be able to outrun him quite a bit. Because now the majority of his team is now slower. He's got the block mighty blow blitzer, which is going to be able to should take out the ghouls quite easily. He's got his horns gutter runner. He's got his big hand one doesn't really do jack shit really, but you get the point.
It does in tackle zones.
Yeah, but we can't give him credit for the big hand.
Yeah, it should have been extra heads.
Yeah.
Okay, and finally, yourself versus the humans.
I feel like I should have this one.
I think you will have this one. However, Pat is learning slowly, and I think you might get into some issues if he takes Graham's advice more seriously.
Yeah. But whoever takes Graham's advice, he has been. He hasn't won since season 2. We're in season 8 now.
Yeah, Graham, you need to pull out your finger and do well.
If you need to take some advice, you need to take it from a previous winners like
Tom?
Dave or Tom. They won the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, you need to just listen to your elders and superiors.
Yep.
But yeah, that is this division for this week. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in a bit.
Goodbye.